Chapter 12. Cultivating randomly will kill you. It is going to be quite difficult to deal with this guy. Not only do I have to be fast enough to dodge its tentacles, I also have to find its main body in order to kill it. After Sanshi revived, he looked at the river and pondered. He decided to raise the threat level of this monster to a higher level, and temporarily considered it as powerful as a Khanate practitioner. He continued to charge forward. After dying 8 times in the hands of this water monster, he turned around and left. He could recover to his peak state after death. This trait could be used well, such as through resolving his injuries and restoring his condition. There were still 2 chances left. He decided to keep them for now. If necessary, he could use them to refresh his status. At this point, his physique was still 28.7. His yang energy had reached 42 points and his freedom attribute was 22 points. Moreover, he had a lucky draw opportunity where he could obtain additional items. The abundant yang energy in his body heated up his body. He did not feel cold at all in the autumn wind. Sanshi hurriedly opened the system and went to the lucky draw page. Looking at the large wheel, Sanshi rubbed his hands and stared at the Khanate pure yang art. He then muttered in his heart, "Please draw a cultivation technique for me. With my current yang energy, it'll definitely improve by leaps and bounds after I cultivate." He tapped on the lottery wheel mentally. "Do you want to use 1 lottery chance to draw the lottery?" Of course, after getting Sanshi's confirmation, the wheel quickly spun and the needle quickly changed between the question marks and the 6 items. The needle gradually slowed down. Sanshi held his breath. "Please give me the Khanate pure yang technique. This is an immortal cultivation technique, Kaini. If it is really not possible, the 9 yang divine technique is not bad too." As he muttered, the needle skipped the Khanate pure yang art and stopped at a question mark. Sanshi was speechless. What was this unknown thing? After the needle stopped, the question mark lit up and a secret manual appeared. "Ding, congratulations on drawing the unfettered hand. Is this a martial arts skill?" Sanshi tapped on it and the manual transformed into a ray of light that surged into his mind, following which, a large amount of information was infused into him. After he knew about the context of this martial arts skill, he started to look a little disappointed. The unfettered hand was not a cultivation technique, but a top-notch skill technique. It was a combination of palm techniques, finger techniques, fist techniques, and grappling techniques. Its characteristic was that it was flexible and varied. This is alright too, I suppose. After all, I lack such fighting skills to begin with. Sanshi accepted it and muttered, "Right now I should only practice the Iron Sen palm for the time being. I won't practice other external martial arts except for the breathing technique." He took out the scroll and read it as he walked under the faint moonlight. As he approached the city gate, there were a few people walking around. Sanshi ignored them and continued to browse the Iron Sen palm under the moonlight with much satisfaction. After walking for more than an hour, Sanshi returned to the Song family home. The sound of a dog barking could be heard. Sanshi kept the scroll and mumbled, "It's the middle of the night. Who's making dogs bark?" He raised his hand and knocked on the door. Knock, knock. The side door opened and a pair of cross-eyed eyes stuck out. It was actually Big Smart who opened the door. "Young master, you're finally back." Big Smart heaved a sigh of relief, although this young master's clothes were tattered. From the exuberant essence he gave off, he could tell that Sanshi was not a ghost. Therefore, Sanshi was not dead. No. The young master was a skinny scholar who had just been run so dry by that woman from the Numu and brothel that his legs went weak. Why did he suddenly look so energetic after disappearing for so long in the middle of the night? "Why are you guarding the door instead of sleeping?" Sanshi was surprised. Big Smart cried, "Young master, how can I sleep if I don't wait for you to come back? You don't have to worry about my safety. Get someone to get me something to eat. I'm starving." Sanshi touched his stomach. Although he had been restored to prime condition after being resurrected, killing Daidu consumed a lot of energy. After walking for a long time, his stomach was very empty and he could eat a horse. Alright, Big Smart was quite happy that Sanshi was fine. He happily ran to the kitchen to prepare supper for Sanshi. A few minutes later, Sanshi sat at the dining table and ate heartily. In the past, he would be full after eating 2 bowls of food at most. Now, he was not full even after eating a whole table worth of food. Moreover, The food he ate seemed to be digested very quickly. My appetite has increased so much. Sanchi was deep in thought. He now had a physique that was dozens of times stronger than ordinary people. Not only had his strength increased, his digestive ability was also dozens of times stronger than that of ordinary people. This was a little terrifying. According to Big Smart, the so-called standard for postnatal martial artists was mainly strength. With his physical fitness, other than strength, he was also very strong in other aspects. Wait, is my ability in that also dozens of times that of an ordinary person? Sanchi smiled perversely. It must be. The last time I slept with Miss Zur, it lasted for half a day continuously. It seems that is not only because she had tricks up her sleeve but also because of my physique. Young master, are you all right? Big Smart could not help but ask. What could possibly happen to me? Sanchi retorted, you ate so much. Big Smart pointed at the table. More than 10 plates had been polished clean. Ahem. I'm a little hungry tonight. Sanchi took a sip of soup and stopped his desire to eat. He picked up a handkerchief and wiped his mouth. Big Smart had a strange expression and muttered, he has so much vitality right now. I don't think he is a hungry ghost. Who's the hungry ghost? I've received guidance from an immortal in the last 2 days and I have acquired some good fortune. You'll understand it in the future. Sanchi revealed a little bit of information. After all, Big Smart was also quite capable. If he followed him, he would definitely be able to sense that something is wrong. Immortal. Big Smart was stunned for a moment. He thought to himself, which immortal did young master meet tonight? Moreover, there would only be ghosts in the reeds. It did not look like a place that immortals will visit. Sanchi walked to the door as the barking in his ears became more urgent. He frowned. Is Daida's body not found? That's right, he disappeared after falling into the water. Big Smart replied. I understand. Hurry up and sleep. Teach me martial arts tomorrow. Sanchi made the arrangement. His physique was now very strong. Some aspects of his physique had probably surpassed postnatal realm martial artists, but it had not been developed yet. Therefore, practicing martial arts was a must. Yes. Young master. Big Smart sensed some changes in Sanchi. He felt that Sanchi was like a burning furnace and was not simple. This time, he did not say anything to dissuade him. After Sanchi left, Big Smart came back to his senses. How did young master know that Daida's corpse wasn't found? Not many people know about this. Woof. 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 Howled dogs barking made Sanchi open his eyes. His eyes were full of spirit and he was not tired at all. Looking at the position of the moo, he estimated that he had only slept for 15 minutes, but now he was still rejuvenated and refreshed. So my recovery speed is also dozens of times faster than ordinary people and my sleep time has greatly reduced too. Sanchi understood the reason why. He sat on the bed and listened to the sounds outside. Dog barks, the sound of wind, snoring, all kinds of sounds entered his ears, making him a little frustrated. It's not good to have better hearing. Sanchi shook his head and closed his eyes. He calmed his mind and recalled the internal strength cultivation method of the Iron Sand Palm. High-tier martial arts were usually cultivated both internally and externally. It was the same for the Iron Sand Palm. Only with special breathing techniques could one master it. Sanchi did not have any iron sand for him to cultivate externally. Hence he tried to directly cultivate through the mental cultivation method and mobilize the essence, energy in his body. Read latest chapters at wuxia-world.site only. Perhaps because of his strong spirit, he grasped the trick after exploring for a while. Wisps of white steam appear in his nostrils and gathered at his chest. However, the white airflow had only reached the halfway point when it started to run amok. He could not control it at all. Then, his chest exploded. With a muffled groan, he vomited blood and fell to the ground. F***ck, I must have gone to berserk. Sanchi widened his eyes and muttered. As expected, you can't cultivate martial arts recklessly. It will cause death.